Brother Daniel, are you there? I request you to open with prayer.
Our heavenly gracious Father, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord. And the Bible says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. May today's meeting be useful and a life-changing experience for all who are attending and all who are going to attend. In Christ's name, amen.
Yes, thank you so much, Brother Daniel. Dr. Hansa, could you introduce our lovely speaker, Tusna, for us? And also the meaning of her name. It's very different, so it's a lovely name. Yes, Dr. Hansa.
Such a delight to introduce to you Dr. Tusna Park. Unfortunately, I don't know the meaning, which I think she will explain later. Now, Tusna was someone I knew years ago in medical college, in Christian Medical College Fellow, and she was my junior. And I still remember her coming in from a rich, gifted Parsi heritage. She just beamed with her rich voice, highly skilled musical talents, which you would have seen by the, the songs that she had chosen that we played. She just swept us off our feet with her voice. She is now a member of many of the leading the musical groups in Chennai. So later in life, when Tusna took to teaching people how to eat right and maintain their weight and their glycemic index since 1991, I was not surprised. She was a dainty doll, and I guess that she wants us to be that dainty ballerina girls, I guess, which we can in spite of our age, if you listen to Tusna. Today, we face such information in explosion on diet and exercises that there's almost an information paralysis. But Tusna's teachings surpasses all those myths and techniques. Her health plans have been researched by a diabetologist, cardiologist, and a dietitian, and has found to have the most recent findings of scientific concept of a healthy diet. The reviews on her are just superb. Many have just praised her and said how much they have been blessed by her, keeping her, their weight and their appearance, and consistently keeping it. She helps you not just to lose weight, but maintain the weight with personal follow-ups and consultations. She treats obesity, helps normalize insulin resistance, which is the real culprit for metabolic syndrome. One of them said, I recommend her book to everyone in my family, which I can quite believe, because that's what I would do too. You can read her book on her website, free for charge, without charge. When young Tusna loved, when I first met her, how I did get to know her was she loved to pray to God. So no wonder that she wants to keep our body, which is the temple of God, pure, beautiful, of aesthetic value, where His Spirit resides in us, so that we too will be somebody healthy, and we will maintain our inner beauty and outer beauty with ease, with no huffing and puffing and sweating it out. Now, I won't take much of her time. I will give you all on to Dr. Tusna Park. Maybe Tusna, you should tell us the meaning of your name. Thank you for being with us and honoring us with your beautiful presence. Thank you, Tusna.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy this presentation. I want to thank BIP, represented by Priya and Hansa and Mr. Daniel. I especially want to thank Mr. Daniel. This is my first virtual Zoom meeting. I've given innumerable presentations to people in the flesh, but never to a virtual audience. I've never done a Zoom before, so I was very apprehensive. So he said, don't worry, I'll take it through. I hope it goes well. This diet started a long time ago. It has evolved slowly over many years from 1989 onwards, when my husband David, who's also a doctor, wanted to lose weight. We tried a number of diets. Being a doctor, we weren't sure what to do. And so it has slowly evolved from a very restricted, strict diet to what it is today, which is very user-friendly. So people, both the very young and the very old, are able to follow it. No food has to be avoided totally. So there's no mental tension that I can't eat this and I can't eat that. It's just avoiding certain types of foods at certain meals. It's a tasty, healthy diet, and you must follow it forever. If you're not if you're not ready to follow it forever, it's better not to start it. Whether you're going to change the way you eat, that's why I've said it's a new way to eat. There's no starving here. There's no starvation. Nothing has to be. It's just a new way to eat. If you're not prepared to continue in this way for all the rest of your life, it's better you don't start. So I was very happy to know that a very big study has been done on a similar type of diet in Canada, involving over 1 lakh people from 33 countries, a long study. It's a 7 to 10 year study. And they have published their report, their results in the Lancet, which is a good medical journal. It was published in 2017 on this diet, which restricts carbohydrate intake to about 50 to 55% of calories. The rest is equally distributed between protein and fat. Now, this is the exact composition of our diet. So I was so delighted to know that this has been validated. They found it's the best diet to prevent diabetes, stroke, to help you to live longer. And this diet really does help people who have diabetes. More than obesity, I'm happy with the results it has on diabetic patients. If you have a family history of diabetes, or if you are a borderline diabetic, or if you are a diabetic and you're on metformin, you can start the diet right away and you will attain much better glycemic control. Your HbA1c will drop within 2 or 3 months. Your fasting glucose will drop. You'll be so happy. However, if you are taking a group of drugs called sulfonylureas, which produce more insulin, then you must take that particular drug at night, because we are going to give the high carbohydrate food at night. I'll explain the reason why. If you're on insulin, up to say 10 units of insulin, you must stop the insulin if you're going to follow this diet and carry on with your oral medication. If you're on more than 10 units of insulin, it's better you don't start it unless you're under supervision. Carry on with your present diet and your insulin and let your diabetologist manage. So now, Mr. Daniel, can you just display those Xerox copies of the diet, the pure diet? It's called the pure diet. So now, it's not just what to eat, but how to eat. So from tomorrow, I want all of you to eat not to fill your stomach, but to enjoy. There are some very few key words in this diet. One is food should be very tasty. If it's tasty, we can enjoy our diet. To enjoy it more, we have to eat slowly, chew well, and follow it for life. So whenever you eat, I want you to keep in mind this picture of the cow. Mr. Daniel, can we have the cow? So there we are. So always think of the cow. Once the cow sits to chew, it will be chewing all day long. There are three very important things in the mouth which are not found in the stomach. The first is teeth for grinding. So your mixie is in your mouth, it's not in the stomach. The more you chew, more saliva will get secreted for digestion. So all the nutrients in the food will get digested well and you will be healthy. Most importantly, the tongue is in the mouth. There is no tongue in the stomach. So however tasty your food may be, once it has reached the stomach doesn't know whether it's grass or biryani. So the place to enjoy your food is in your mouth. So even when you drink something like your coffee or your tea, don't drink it quickly. Get a flask with a cover, pour in the hot coffee or tea, take a sip, put it down. Don't keep holding it in your hand. If you keep holding it in your hand, your mind will tell you to drink it up quickly and put it down. Then get busy with your work or relax, read a book, watch your WhatsApp, then have another sip, put it down so that you enjoy every sip. And when you eat, keep chewing. Food should become tasty in the mouth, liquid in the mouth. Then think, yummy. Then only put it in your tummy. So no more dumping food in your stomach from tomorrow. Okay? Now we are going to discuss a few things before we start the diet. Mr. Daniel, could you remove the cow, please? Thank you. So now the first thing to understand is that oil is not the problem for either reducing weight or controlling your blood sugar. But oil is always blamed. As soon as we put on weight, we think of oil. We think of reducing the quantity of oil, not eating deep fried food, stopping oily food like butter and ghee, cheese. Non-vegetarians wonder if they should stop non-veg food. It's a totally wrong concept. You can try it on yourself. Go on a total oil-free diet for a month and see. Not even 1 kilo will reduce from your body. Having said that, being a doctor, I'll give you a little advice about oil consumption. Consume a maximum of 1 liter per month per adult. Any child over 10 years old can be considered an adult. This will take care of guests and servants also. Never use refined oils for cooking. There is nothing to refine in an oil. The food industry misleads us. It advertises refined oil cholesterol free. They want you to believe there's cholesterol in it, and they have done something to remove the cholesterol. It is wrong. There was never any cholesterol in any vegetable oil. Cholesterol is only found in the animal kingdom. It is not found in the vegetable kingdom. So no vegetable oil has cholesterol. You don't have to do anything to it to remove the cholesterol. But they heat the oil to high temperatures with chemicals to make it clear, to remove the color and the smell, to make a thick oil into a thin oil, transparent oil. Because we human beings perceive that a clear looking oil is better and a dark smelly oil is bad. There's nothing wrong in a dark smelly oil. So that oil, which looks very clear and transparent and which you think is very good, is a used oil. It's already been heated once. And when we make food, we're heating it for the second time. We all know that we should not heat an oil twice. it converts into trans fatty acids, which are responsible for blocking the blood vessels in the heart. Cholesterol has been blamed for heart attacks for the last 40 years by us doctors. It's not our fault. We have to teach you what is known at that time. Today we know that cholesterol is not the culprit. 75% of people who have had heart attacks have very low cholesterol. Cholesterol is only found in the animal kingdom. The pure vegetarians who don't consume butter or ghee, many of them have high cholesterol. It's a genetic problem. Those who come from a family who have had heart problems, their cholesterol is high. Cholesterol is required. The body needs cholesterol. Excuse me for a minute, my doggy wants to come. Come inside. Sorry, my doggy wants to join the Zoom. Okay, so what was I saying? Cholesterol is required for the body. Cell walls, vitamin D, hormones. We can't have all this without cholesterol. The liver makes cholesterol. 70% of our cholesterol need is supplied by the liver. It depends on the diet for the extra 25%. If you stop giving it that, the liver will overwhelm. So please get this idea out of your head that cholesterol is bad for the heart. It is not. It is the trans fatty acids that come from refined oils, oils that have been heated many times, and hydrogenated fats like vanaspati. All cheap bakery products have vanaspati in it. They're supposed to use butter, but butter is too expensive, so they use vanaspati. So we have talked about oil. Okay. So if oil is not the problem, what is the problem? The problem is carbohydrate. Now, what is carbohydrate? We call carbohydrate before it is digested. Some carbohydrate is sweet in the mouth, like sugar, honey, fruits, sweets, soft drinks. So we know that there is sugar in it, and automatically we reduce the quantity. You'll never see somebody eating a cup of honey or a cup of sugar. At the very most, 2 to 4 teaspoons. But most carbohydrates like rice, wheat, pulses, millets, corn, they're not sweet in the mouth. So when we eat those food items, we're not thinking about sugar. I don't know what we think about. Definitely we're not thinking about sugar. So all carbohydrate, whether it is sweet or not sweet, gets digested. And the end product is glucose. Glucose enters the blood. Glucose is for energy, like you put petrol in your vehicle. But if you take your vehicle to the petrol pump and just leave it near the petrol pump without filling, and the petrol tank is empty, and try to start your vehicle, will it start? It will not start. Petrol has to transfer from the petrol pump to its own petrol tank. Only then your vehicle can use the petrol. Similarly, glucose in the blood is not energy. Glucose has to convert into energy. We call it ATP. And that ATP then has to enter every cell of the body and get stored inside the mitochondria. You remember in school, we drew little batteries in each cell. We call them mitochondria. We said powerhouses of the cell, you remember? I didn't know what they were then, but I do know what they are now. So glucose converts into ATP. ATP enters the cell. It has to be stored in the mitochondria, and only then that cell can use it for energy. Now, this is where everyone's body appears to be. 3 out of 10 very lucky people, from birth to death. All the glucose that is absorbed converts into ATP and gets stored in the mitochondria as energy. They never put on weight. You've seen some people, very lean and thin. They eat whatever they want, they eat whenever they want, they never put on. But 7 out of 10 were not so lucky. Either genetically we are not lucky, or we are lucky in the early part of our life, but as we go through life, we develop insulin resistance. 1 in 4 people all over the world have insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? Insulin resistance means you have plenty of insulin. Insulin has 2 jobs. One is take out the extra glucose from the blood, and it should make energy. The other job is to make energy. Take out the sugar from the blood and make energy. 1 in 4 people, insulin takes the sugar out from the blood. So your blood glucose is normal. Every doctor checks for blood glucose. Very few doctors check for fasting insulin levels. Even the master health checkups don't include this test. It's called fasting serum insulin. It measures how much insulin you have in your blood. If it is more than the normal level, it means you suffer from insulin resistance. Insulin is taking your glucose out from your blood. So your blood sugar is normal. But instead of converting it more into energy, it is going back. So naturally, these people put on weight. The next stage would be diabetes. Then we get blood pressure, high blood pressure, uric acids become high, and finally heart. This is called metabolic syndrome or syndrome X. You could Google it and check. So our diet is one of the best diets to cure insulin resistance. The other thing is exercise. And the third thing to help insulin resistance is to take metformin. So coming back to carbohydrate metabolism, 7 out of 10 people who are not so lucky, most of the glucose stores as fat. So when you look at your fat or you think of fat, please don't think of oil. It is not stored oil, it is stored glucose. Now our steroid levels are lowest in the night. Our own body makes steroids. It's called cortisol. It's a tension hormone, it's a stress hormone. So when we are sleeping, the cortisol levels are lowest. This is a medical fact. They're lowest between 10 p.m. in the night and 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, when our cortisol levels are low, the insulin receptors are more sensitive to insulin. We have insulin receptors all over the body where insulin has to attach. Think of it like a lock. The insulin receptor is a lock and insulin is the key. So think of this lock being well oiled when we are relaxed. Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., our steroid levels are lowest. This is the time when insulin works best. The key fits into the lock and does what it's supposed to do. So this is the time when your glucose more easily converts into energy. So eat the high carbohydrate foods at night. The carbohydrate will get digested. It takes 2 hours for digestion. The glucose will enter your blood and it's more likely to convert into energy. Our cortisol levels are highest in the morning, between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. That is the time when our insulin receptors are more resistant to insulin. So no food is bad. You put your 3 idlis at night, which have rice and dal in them, which are high in glucose. That glucose is more likely to store as energy. You eat those 3 idlis for breakfast, when our cortisol levels are high, there is more chance of that glucose turning into fat. Okay? So now that we know carbohydrate is the problem, let's learn which foods have more carbohydrate and which foods have less. Mr. Daniel, can we have the next slide, please? Thank you. So we'll start from the top and we'll go all the way down. So refined sugar has 99% glucose in it. Percent means per 100 grams. So if you weigh 100 grams of sugar, 99 grams is pure glucose. Jaggery is 95%. How much difference? Just 4% difference. So if you stop eating sugar and take jaggery, your weight is not going to go down. But being a doctor, I have to give you a healthy diet. Jaggery is healthier than refined sugar because it probably has less chemicals. Honey has 79% glucose and rice has 78. Isn't it astonishing? Rice has just 1% glucose when compared to honey. Honey is sweet in the mouth, so we consume not more than 1 or 2 teaspoons at a time. We're very careful. Nobody will sit and eat a cup of honey. Rice is not sweet in the mouth. We don't think of glucose when we eat rice, and we're consuming it in cupfuls. If we could taste our rice in the small intestine before it enters the blood, it will be entering as sweet as honey.
रोटला मत बनाओ.
Now wheat is 72% glucose, just 6% less than rice. So if you stop eating rice products and eat wheat products, your weight is not going to go down. If it was so easy, I wouldn't be sitting here helping people to lose weight. Corn and millets have 68% glucose, a little better. Many people stop eating rice and wheat and eat millets at all 3 meals. They don't lose weight. Oats is 65%, quinoa is 64%, and shockingly, pulses, dal, they are all 58 to 60% glucose. Now, when we say that word dal, does anyone think of glucose? Definitely not. We say protein food, protein food. Mr. Daniel, can we have the protein slide, please? So I just want you to concentrate on pulses. Pulses have only 20% of protein. They have more than rice, which is 7, and more than wheat, which is 12. So 20 is better than 7 and 12, but it doesn't make it a predominantly protein food. But everyone thinks of only this 20% protein and conveniently forgets the 60% of carbohydrate. Can we go back to the carbohydrate slide, Mr. Daniel? Okay. So I want you to look at your plate whenever you eat. The main dish at each meal consists of either rice or wheat, usually, or dal, with dal. Whether it is idli, dosha, chapati, puri, pongal, upma, sambar, sadam, bread, bun, chana bhatura, even our snacks, murku, tatta, all made out of rice, wheat, and dal. So what are we doing to the body? From the time we wake up in the morning till the time we sleep at night, glucose is entering the blood. Our body was not made to store all that glucose as energy. Can we have the carbohydrate? Thank you so much. Now I want you to notice that rice, wheat, millets, oats, quinoa, pulses, they're all grains. Only human beings on planet Earth have gone on to a seed-based diet. Which animal in nature eats rice, wheat, and dal? The tiger eats meat. The herbivores eat the grass and the leaves. You can eat grass from all day. It contains only 5% glucose. Grains are not found growing naturally in nature. You'll find one plant in one place, another plant in another place. Further on, you may find another plant with a few grains, but you won't find them all growing together in a field like grass grows in a field. This is a cultivated crop. You'll only find rice and wheat fields where human beings are present. Human beings have gone for agriculture, and instead of cultivating more vegetables which are healthy, they've gone into cultivating grains because it's so convenient. Grains don't get spoiled. We can transfer them from the Himalayas to Kanyakumari in a truck, they won't get spoiled. We can buy them and keep them at home in gunny bags, it doesn't get spoiled. So because it's so convenient, human beings have gone on to a seed-based diet. The seed was not meant to be cooked and eaten 3 times a day in large quantities. The seed has got a lot of glucose because a new plant has to come out. That seed is supposed to fall into the ground and give rise to a new plant, not to be cooked and eaten 3 times a day. It's too much glucose. Now there's only one seed where the glucose is considerably less. It's the soya bean. It's not really a seed, it's a bean, it's a nut, because it has more oil. It has 30% of oil, 40% of protein, and only 30% of carbohydrate. Now I'll just tell you a little bit about the soya bean. The soya bean is a brown bean with a little dot. But if you ask for the soya bean in little shops, they won't give you a brown bean. They'll give you a white bean. And they'll say white soya, foreign soya. It is not soya. I've had it analyzed in the lab. It's a navy bean, which has 60% of glucose. And don't muddle up the soya bean with the black-eyed bean, which in Tamil is called karamani or lobia in Hindi. So the black-eyed bean has 60% glucose, and that white bean has 60%. The soya bean has only 30%. It's a brown bean. So now we have learned about seeds. Let's learn about vegetables. So the common vegetables have only about 2 to 10% of glucose. So we can eat plenty of vegetables. There are 5 vegetables which have more. That is potato, yam, sweet potato, which have 20 to 25%. Tapioca has 38%. And raw banana, which South Indians call balaka, they make a vegetable out of. That has 14% of glucose. So these 5 vegetables have more glucose than other vegetables, but nowhere as much glucose as the seeds, because these vegetables are natural. If you dig under the ground, you will get potato, yam, sweet potato, and tapioca. These are natural. Now let's learn which foods have less carbohydrate or no carbohydrate. So scroll right down. Non-veg, egg and oil have no carbohydrate. This is why the paleo diet and the keto diet and the Atkins diet are so popular for those who are non-vegetarians. They'll ask you to eat a lot of non-vegetarian. Having said that, today, in India at least, chicken is not healthy. It is full of antibiotics. It may also have growth hormone and steroids in it. A 6-week-old chicken is very small. A 6-week-old chicken in the chicken shop weighs over 1 kilo. They've made it big and fat. And we are eating the chicken with all these chemicals. Fish is very good for the body. But today, all the sewers drain into the sea. The chemical effluents drain into the rivers flow into the sea, and chemicals, especially mercury, are absorbed into the fish. So fish is not very good. If I had to eat non-veg food, right now I'm a vegetarian, I would go for mutton or beef. Because nobody keeps the goats and injects them and gives them antibiotics. A little boy will take them out into the fields where they will graze on grass and natural. So non-veg, egg and oil have nil carbohydrate. Vegetables already we said 2 to 10%. Milk, greens, mushroom, cheese, only 5%. So these are safe foods. Paneer, only 8%. So we can eat paneer. Nuts, almonds, pistachios, and walnuts have only 14%. But cashew nuts and groundnuts have double the amount. They have 28%. So don't eat cashew nuts and groundnuts during the day. Coconut also has 28%. Just a word about coconut. Everyone thinks coconut has cholesterol in it. I've already told you there is no cholesterol in the vegetable kingdom. Coconut is one of the healthiest foods to eat. It has all the minerals, all the vitamins in it. No cholesterol. So don't be afraid of eating coconut. Fruit have 7 to 30%. The guava is the lowest with 7. The highest is ripe banana, 30%. Mango will be about 22 to 25. Ripe papaya, pear, and apple would be about 15. And then we come to pomegranate, orange, pineapple, which have about 12% of carbo. So it all depends on which fruit we eat. So now we have learned a lot of things. We have learned that oil is not the problem. Don't use refined oils. Use cold pressed oils. Butter and ghee are all right. Vanaspati is bad. We have learned that carbohydrate is the problem, both for diabetes and obesity and heart problems, because a high carbohydrate diet increases the triglycerides and lowers the good cholesterol, which is the HDL. We've learned which foods have more carbohydrate. We've learned which foods have less carbohydrate. And we know why we are going to eat the high carbohydrate food at night. So what we are going to do in a new way to eat is eat high carbohydrate foods one time, not 3 times a day, once a day. And it must be at night. And we already know why. So at night, you choose any of the grains or any of the high carbohydrate vegetables like potato and tapioca, or fruit, or anything sweet in your mouth, like fruit or chocolates, ice cream, milkshake. That's your quota of carbohydrate for the day. Consider it to be the main dish for dinner and mix and match with low carbohydrate foods, which are all the side dishes, starters. Like when we go to a hotel, we order starters. They're all carbohydrate, low carbohydrate. So now that we have learned about this, let's start with our diet. Mr. Daniel, can we have the first? Right, so right at the top, please never forget, food should be tasty so that we can enjoy it. Please eat very slowly. We're going to eat to enjoy, not to fill the stomach, and follow for life. So I'll give you a few suggestions. You get up in the morning at whatever time you normally get up. Finish with your toiletries. Drink a glass of water with a few drops of lemon in it. Now, this is not to lose weight. This is to alkalize the body. Everyone's body all over the world today have become acidic. It's not our fault. Pollution in the air, chemicals in our food, stress. Everyone has stress of one type or another. This has made everyone's blood and urine acidic. I'm not talking of gastritis. That's a different issue. I'm talking of the blood and urine have become acidic. Every disease, including COVID and cancer, can get a grip on the body only if the body is acidic. The blood and urine are acidic. So we must do our level best to keep our blood and urine alkaline. Eating plenty of vegetables helps a lot, but it's not sufficient. So a few drops of lime. Don't make it sour, not even a quarter lime or half lime, just a few drops. Then I would suggest that you go for a brisk half-an-hour walk. Don't put it off till later and say, I'll do it later, I'll do it later. You'll never do it. So go for a brisk walk, come back, And we'll start with our diet. So item number 1, something sweet must enter the body once in the morning and once in the evening. Please don't stop eating something sweet thinking that you will lose more weight. You will not. And no artificial sweeteners like aspartame or stevia, Splenda. They're causing insulin resistance. Take a little bit of sugar or jaggery. So there is a list that you can choose from. Most of us would like tea or coffee. Others can have honey with lime, or they can have a glass of coconut water or sweet lassi, or those who like chocolate can have some chocolate. Never keep your chocolate in the fridge. It becomes hard, you can't taste it, you'll bite into it and swallow it immediately. Keep your chocolate out, let it melt a little bit. Take it in a little plate and take it little by little, like we eat ice cream. Or you can have a couple of dates or one large fig or two small ones. So something sweet. And remember, eat and drink slowly. So this is item number 1 in our diet. Now after that is over, can we go to the second slide, please, Mr. Daniel? So 2 hours after your morning drink, we come to our new healthy breakfast. Now there are 3 items. We can choose one in each category. So the first category is either a big tomato or about 150 gram cucumber or a hard guava. These have the lowest carbohydrate. They are the healthiest, best to lose weight and control high blood sugar levels. Or you can have 2 slices of pineapple or a small pomegranate or 8 pieces of papaya or melon. Pieces are 2 inches by 1 inch. Or a big orange, again 2 pieces of chocolate, not milk chocolate, please. Or an avocado or berries like strawberries or blueberries. So choose any one from here. Then we come to nuts. So 6 almonds or 12 pistachio or 2 to 3 walnuts or a fist of roasted soya nuts. You can order them from Amazon. And then we come to protein. You can have an egg with the yellow. The yellow is very healthy. Please don't throw away the yellow. It has all the vitamins. And the yellow has something called lecithin, which prevents blood from clotting. Or you can have cheese or paneer, tofu, or tempeh. Tempeh is fermented soya. It was not available in India, but it's available now. You can order it from Amazon. Non-vegetarians can have a piece of chicken or fish. So these are your 3 items for breakfast. I'll give you 2 ideas how to eat them. Finally, you do whatever you want. Be happy. The first idea is eat everything separate. So you eat your tomato, make it tasty, put salt, pepper, chili powder, chaat masala, puliyodara mix, whatever you want. Then munch your nuts and then have your egg or tempeh. The second idea I think is better. Combine all 3 and make a chaat. So cut the tomato cucumber into little pieces, mix the nuts into them. The soya nuts mix best. And you can boil an egg, cut it and mix it. Grate the cheese, grate the paneer, tempeh. Shred the chicken, put it in, and make it into a nice chaat with salt, pepper, chili powder, amchur, whatever. Take it in a bowl and eat a teaspoon. And keep chewing. Don't forget, chew well, eat slowly. So we have finished with your new healthy breakfast. After that, there should be another 2-hour gap. So you can have a glass of buttermilk or rasam or jaljeera. Again, sip it slowly and enjoy. So these are the 3 items that enter your mouth before lunch. There's no starvation here. Everything is tasty, tasty. You will feel a little hungry for the first 3 days only. The stomach is an elastic bag. We've made it big by stuffing bulky foods into it. It'll start shrinking. It'll take 3 days to shrink. You won't get a headache or giddiness. You'll just get a rumbling in the stomach. Don't be afraid. Put a positive thought. Talk to the rumbling. Say, let it be, let it be. Give this fat some chance to go. Guaranteed on the 4th day, even that rumbling will stop. Now, this is another advantage in our diet. Hunger goes away. So even young people, even children are able to follow it. You won't feel hungry. You'll feel more energetic than before. You won't feel sleepy after a meal. Could we have the next slide, please, Mr. Daniel? Now we come to lunch. So lunch is 6 hours after item number 1. So if you've had your coffee at 7, your lunch can come at about 1 o'clock, approximately. Now there are 4 items for lunch. We'll take them one by one. So the first item is raw vegetables. Definitely don't add beetroot. You can add a small piece of carrot if you want. Cut them into small pieces. So what can we use? We can use tomato, cucumber, spring onions or onions, a small piece of carrot, radish, capsicum. If you go to special shops and get lettuce and celery and other things, you can add it. Don't put salt or anything into it, just keep it there. Those who go to work, take it in a lockbox, a big lockbox. The second item is curd, about half a tumbler curd. Those who go to work, take it separately in a small little lockbox. The third item is cooked vegetables, mushroom, all tasty, with oil, masala, everything. Try not to add dal in the afternoon. Dal will come at night. You can add coconut. So don't use potatoes, sweet potato, yam, tapioca, and raw banana for lunch. No corn for lunch, no chanas for lunch. What is no for lunch will come as your main dish for dinner. So nothing is being avoided in this diet. You can eat everything, just put it at the right time. Now I'll give you an idea on how to eat this. Take a big bowl, put your cooked vegetables into it, add the curd, add the raw vegetables. At the time of eating, mix all three. So you get a nice big bowl, a very tasty, healthy, crunchy food. There's no way you can gobble it. The raw vegetable will force you to eat the cooked vegetables slowly. Otherwise, if you're going to eat a brinjal or the greens, what is there to chew? There's nothing to chew. So the raw vegetable will force you to eat the cooked vegetable slowly, and the cooked vegetable will give taste to the raw vegetable. So you don't have to break your head about how to make that raw vegetable tasty, which dressing, this dressing, that dressing, why all that. So follow the system. It works very well, and I still eat in this way today. For those who go to work, take the cooked vegetable in a little bigger lockbox. There has to be enough place on top to accommodate the curd and the raw vegetable. Now we come to protein. So choose any one protein. Those who are non-vegetarians can have fish, chicken, prawns, mutton. If you eat egg, you can have egg, or you have paneer, or you can have a fistful of soya beans made into a chana or like a sundal. You can eat soya chunks, those eat meal maker, tempeh, or cheese. So choose any one protein. So we'll just quickly repeat it. You have your raw vegetable, you have curd, you have your cooked vegetable, no quantity restriction, remember. Mushrooms are there, and your protein is there. Chew well, eat slowly, and enjoy. So far, no rice, wheat, dal, millets, oats, corn has entered your mouth in any form. All this will come for dinner. Don't worry. We're not missing anything from our diet. Now, after lunch is over, if you're lucky enough to be at home, you can go to sleep. Can we have the next slide, Mr. Daniel? So you can sleep well. There's a myth that if you sleep after food, you're going to put on weight. I've already told you, when we are relaxed, our steroid levels are low and there's more chance of glucose storing as energy. Now we come to evening. So again, something sweet, 3 hours after lunch. So the same list that I gave you for item number 1, something sweet. If you're hungry, you can have 3 Monaco or Threpton biscuits, and you can eat some more nuts. The almonds, pistas, walnut, soya nuts. If you want cashew nuts, have them at tea time. 4 to 5 nice big fat cashew nuts, or a fistful of groundnuts, or cheese. So don't deviate from this evening diet. Any other item that you're tempted to eat, promise me that you won't say, oh, I'm on a diet, I can't eat that, this, and I can't eat that. Just say we'll have it for dinner. Don't change this evening snack. Anything else you're tempted, bhel puri or whatever it is, chaat, pakoras, don't say I can't have it. Say, okay, we'll have it. Then in the evening, you can go for another 30-minute brisk walk. Or if you haven't walked in the morning, definitely walk in the evening. And now we come to dinner. Can we have the dinner slide, please, Mr. Daniel? Can you change the slide, please? Mr. Daniel, can we have the dinner slide? So here we are. So now we come to dinner. So dinner is about 3 hours after your evening snack. So choose any one item from below. There are about 40 items. We'll enumerate all of them. You choose any one item from below as main dish and any side dishes from lunch. You can have watery dal and soup. So dal comes for dinner. When we eat dal along with rice and wheat, let it be a watery dal. When we eat a solid dal, like chana or vada, pakoda bhajis, ade, it becomes a main. So we'll start with rice. Now from the health point of view, don't eat what in Tamil they say pacharsi. That is that highly polished white rice. All the vitamins and minerals are gone. There's no fiber. It's just pure glucose entering the blood. So the best rice to eat is parboiled rice. In Tamil, they say pulangarsi or idli rice. I eat idli rice. Or you can eat hand-pounded rice. They call it matta rice. Or you can eat basmati rice. This is from the health point of view. Every rice has 78% carbohydrate. So when you see diabetic rice, please don't be misled. The carbohydrate is the same. It has got more fiber, so its glycemic index is lower. It will enter the body slowly. Now, if you're a non-vegetarian and you want to eat rice with non-vegetarian food, which has no glucose, you can eat about 50 grams of rice. If you're vegetarian and you're going to eat your rice with vegetables and dal and curd, which have glucose, please don't exceed 25 or 30 grams. One fistful, my fistful is 25 grams of rice. So I cook 25 grams of idli rice every night in a small pressure. Or you can have 3 idlis or 3 doshas. So 3 scoops. Or 3 idiyappam, appam, pongal, 1 fistful of rice or dal, uncooked measure. Or red aval, beaten rice, you can have puha. Or bel puri. So bel puri doesn't come for tea time snacks. It's your main dish for dinner. Or if you want your murku, tatter or snacks, which are made out of rice or wheat, replace it. Replace your ordinary rice with murku tatter. Now, don't forget your side dishes are an accompaniment to all this. Potato, chana, and corn are not side dishes. I will repeat this many times. So don't have rice with potato, chana, or corn. Potato and chana and corn come as the main dish. If you'd like to replace your rice with quinoa, which has only 64% carbohydrate, and it has double the amount of protein that rice has, please do so. Keep your rice for special items like palau and biryani. If you're going to anyway mix your rice with yummy curry and dal and rasam and all, which is going to give it taste, mix it with quinoa. Nobody's going to eat a bowl of white rice alone, right? There are always side dishes to make it taste. Can we have the next slide, Mr. Daniel? Now we come to wheat. Now I'm talking of whole wheat. I'm not talking of maida. Maida, like polished rice, is a junk. There's no nutrition in it. And Indian maida is a poison. They're putting chemicals into it to whiten it. So one chemical called alloxan is destroying the beta cells in the pancreas, which make insulin. So it's adding to our diabetic problem. I'll be giving you a list of maida items at the end. So when you're longing for a puff or a samosa, please have it once in a while for dinner. Don't keep it in your mind and keep on thinking about it. You'll get mental tension, your steroids will go up, you'll put on more weight. So we are talking of whole wheat. Be careful when you see that word wheat flour. This food industry is all out to fool us. I have made so many mistakes. You must see whole wheat. They're calling maida wheat flour. So if you see wheat bread or brown bread, please don't buy it. Don't believe the main label. Turn around and look at the ingredients. It should be written whole wheat flour, not wheat flour. Wheat flour is maida. So you can have 3 small chapatis, big puri size. If it's a very big chapati too, you can have puris, you can have paratha, along with your vegetables and other side dishes from lunch. Remember, again I'm repeating, potato, chana and corn are not side dishes. Or you can have 4 slices of whole wheat or multigrain bread. So 2 sandwiches, toast, tasty toast, cheese toast, bread upma, make pav bhaji without potatoes and have it with this healthy bread. If you order pizza, try to get a whole wheat base. I've tried very hard. I'm not getting. A lean crust, a thin crust is not necessarily a whole wheat crust unless they say so. So if you're ordering a huge pizza, you can have 2 triangles. If it's a small one, you can eat up the whole. If you're ordering from Subway for dinner, you can have a 6-inch multigrain sub for dinner. If you're ordering from Subway for lunch, just finish with a Subway salad. Or you can have 2 fistfuls of rava and make suji or upma, or 3 whole wheat or ragi doshas. Don't think ragi is much better than wheat flour. It has the same amount of carbohydrate. So from the point of losing weight or reducing your blood sugar levels is not going to help. It does have more fiber, protein, calcium, and iron, but the carbohydrates. Now we come to corn. For those of you who would like to roast corn and have it, it's not tea time snacks, it's your main dish for dinner. Or you can boil the corn, take out the kernels, add tomatoes and cucumber and cauliflower and cheese, paneer, mushrooms, and make a nice corn salad. So that's main dish for dinner. You want popcorn or tacos, nachos, buy a small packet and munch them along with your side dishes. Now we come to millets. For those of you who are familiar with millets and you eat millets, please have them. But remember, they're only for dinner. Can we have the next slide, Mr. Daniel, please? Now we come to oats. Some people like oats. I hate oats. But if you like oats, you can have oats. You can make upma. You can make an oats dosha, either with just oats or add dal also. Soak both of them, grind them, and make it into dosha. Now we are having solid dal as our main dish. So 2 to 3 ade or pesrit. Andhras call it pesrit, all the little dals, they soak and grind them. So you can have moong dal dosha or chane ka dal dosha. You'll get only 60% sugar, so much better to lose weight and control your diabetes. You can have dokla, but not from Srimatai because they soak it in sugar syrup. You can have that khandvi. I love khandvi. So you can buy a box of khandvi and have it as your main dish for dinner. Or you can have bhaji pakoras. But don't say I'm on diet, I can't eat pakoras and bhaji. It can come as your main dish for dinner along with side dishes. Or you can have gravy vada, thair vada, rasa vada, sambar vada, or 2 fistfuls of your favorite chana. So Kabuli chana, rajma, black chana, whatever you want. Soak it in the morning. It will swell up, pressure cook it, and make it like sundal or have a nice chana masala gravy. Take it in a bowl and eat it with a spoon. That's your main dish. Don't ask for chapati and rice along. For those of you who like soya chunks, you can use the soya chunks. Now you would have heard that people with thyroid should not eat soya. You can eat it twice a week at one meal. Not every day, but twice a week at just one meal. So soya has only 30% of glucose. So those of you who want to lose weight fast, eat the soya chunks at least 2 or 3 times a week. Take a handful, soak it in hot water, wash it well, squeeze it out, mix it with a lot of vegetables, make it in a nice yummy tomato gravy with masala, and enjoy. Next slide, Mr. Daniel, please. Or you can have the other vegetables. Now, very often I have potato as my main dish for dinner. So about 125, one big potato. You can have French fries. You can have yummy mashed potato with a little milk and butter and cheese. You can have fried potato. You can have potato cutlets, potato tikkis. Non-vegetarians can have keema with potato. But remember, that's your main dish. You're not having potato with rice and with wheat. Or you can have sweet potato, yam, tapioca. People from Kerala eat their fish curry with tapioca. How sensible, only 30% glucose compared to 78% rice. You can boil the tapioca, take out the skin, cut it into little pieces or mash it up nicely, and make it your main dish with your curry and rasam and sambar and all that. Or fruit. Oh, I forgot about raw banana. Raw banana vegetable, very filling. Take out the skin, weigh out 150 grams, and have it with side dishes. You lose your weight quicker. Your blood sugar will be much better controlled if you make low carbohydrate foods your main dishes. Or fruit. Now notice I've not written or for all the items. Only for written or for fruit, because people make a big mistake with fruit. They think they're very healthy foods. Eat as much as you want. You won't lose weight. Your blood sugar will not get controlled. You can't have 3 chapatis and then go and eat an apple. You want your apple, it's instead of the chapati. Remember that. So I've only written quantities for fruits, not more than 200 grams. Weigh it out. But banana, mango, and jackfruit have double the amount of sugar. It's only 100 grams. So mango season is round the corner. Choose a small mango, the smallest mango. It will be at least 200 grams. If you take out the skin and the seed, you'll get 100 grams. So you can have your lunch menu with one small mango, or cut a big mango and just have either the side or suck the seed. Or you can have side dishes with one small ripe banana, or you can have side dishes with ice cream or dessert or plain milkshake or even chocolates. So you see, Everything is avoided in our diet. Just put it at the right time and combine it with the right foods. For those of you who drink, you can have dry wine or beer or whiskey. Wine and beer contain carbohydrate, so it's preferable to have them only with side dishes. Hard liquor has no carbohydrate in it. There's no carbohydrate, protein, or fat. It's just empty calories. So it doesn't mean that a teetotaler should start drinking, but for you who do drink, you can have a little bit at night. Can we have the next slide, please, Mr. Daniel? And right at the end, I've given you a list of maida items. Maida has 72% of carbohydrates, same as wheat. But wheat is healthy 72, this is unhealthy 72. So once in a while, when you're really longing for white noodles and pasta, white pizza, white bread, bun, pav bhaji, chaat, frankie, puff, shawarma, samosa, romali roti, maida paratha, please have it once in a week. Nothing will happen to the body if you have something once in a week. It's when we bombard the body with bad things every day that something bad is going on. So no soft drinks and no fruit juices. Eat the fruit, please don't have fruit juices. The only juice that I would recommend is a tomato juice. One big tomato in the mixie with salt, pepper, lime, a little Tabasco sauce or Worcester sauce. Makes a yummy tomato juice. Don't strain it. We're going to have the juice with the skin. That is why it is healthy. So no other fruit juices, even if they're made at home or they say no added sugar. And one small warning for diabetic patients, if you're borderline diabetic, not yet on tablets, or you're on metformin, you can start the diet right away. Your blood sugar levels will be very well controlled. If you're on gliptins, there's a new set of drugs called gliptins. They will not also cause low sugar, but better have it at night. If you're on sulfonylureas, then only have it at night. Insulin patients, if it's only up to 10 units, stop the insulin and you can start our diet. Any more than 10 units, better not. It has to be done under a doctor's supervision. Otherwise, there is a very real chance of going into hypoglycemia. So I think that's it. Thank you very much for coming and spending your time over here. If there are any questions, I would be happy to answer.
Thank you so much, Tusna. It was really nice, especially the last few advices which Dr. gave is very general in nature. So if you specifically want to follow the diabetic advice, please take her advice seriously, but consult your doctor so that they can tailor make it for your personal needs. So that's just a caution. For me, it was really eye-opening, and a lot of things I think we need to unlearn from all the junk that we have learned and we have practiced. You're talking so different, because I was always told eat breakfast like a king and your dinner should be like a pauper. Don't eat also, it is okay. And I was almost getting into that cycle and telling my kids also, don't eat too much, get into a good habit. And this is a lot of unlearning to do. And if there are any audience who are quite excited and want to ask some questions to clarify, you could raise your hands. Let it be very general in nature, which could be helping everybody, because this is not a medical consultation thing. Like, a lot of health issues could be discussed, which could be a blessing to others. Please raise your hand or put it in the chat box. A lot of people wanted recording. Yes, recording is being done. A slightly edited version will be shared with everyone who is here. Yes, Albert has raised her hand. Sister, you could unmute and talk.
Yeah, that was a very eye-opening presentation for us. And I just want to know, no soft drinks in that case, either in the morning or in the noon as well as in the dinner. And no soft drinks anytime.
No
Is it
soft
right?
drinks anytime. They're full of oxalates and phytates that prevent absorption and corrode the teeth, bad for the bones. So no soft drinks, no fruit juices, no polished rice, neither refined oils. So these are the high glycemic and processed foods which are damaging our body. They fall and there's more risk. There's just one thing I want to tell you. I've given
so
Mr.
there are a few
Daniel
slides.
Can we have the
first
one, please, Mr. Daniel? Do you have those
we'll
four
go
slides?
to
Can you
myths.
just show them for a
So
minute?
there are
certain myths and wrong ideas. I'm not going to go through everything. If it's in the link, Mr. Daniel can put it onto the link. Then I've talked about oil. I've talked about water drinking. They're all in these slides. If it's in the link, Mr. Daniel can put it onto the link. Then I've talked about oil, explained how to manage at weddings and functions, eat the vada instead of the idli dosha. If you have a yellow sapade, don't get worried. Eat all the side dishes. We'll put about 15 yummy side dishes on your yellow. Eat everything, have a little bit of the sweet. The rice and chapati will come at the end, say venda. They'll come and give you more. If it's a buffet, there's no problem. You can pick and choose. And then if you're ill, don't change the diet. If you have to take any medication, let it be after your breakfast, our diet lunch, after dinner. The only time you can change the diet is if you have loose motion. Banana, mashed potato, and thai sadam are the best for loose motion. So you can have banana in the morning, mashed potato for lunch, and thai sadam for dinner. And then when you go on holidays, I've given you some tips. Don't say, here we are, holidays. Don't say, I went here, there, I couldn't follow. I've given you the solution, how to follow. And then we come to food labels. I've written a lot about how the food industry tries to mislead us. All my mistakes, I don't want you to make those mistakes. So read them all carefully. The next slide, please, Mr. Dan. Next slide, please. Oil. And I've explained about oil and why we shouldn't take refined. Right. So that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Doctor. Where do you live? Is there any way people could connect with you?
I live off Sterling Road.
Oh, Chennai. Okay, I'll meet you when I come south.
If anyone wants an appointment, it's a 4-month program. The first day I spend about 2 hours with each patient explaining everything like I've explained to you. And then you come back every 2 weeks for a checkup. And the average weight lost is about 8 to 10 kilos in this 4-month period. Some may lose much more, and some who don't follow it well will definitely lose less. Those of you who have already lost a lot of weight on a diet and put it back, then losing weight second, third time is more difficult. Very sadly, it is more difficult. We can't do anything about it. You just have to be patient. It'll go, but it'll go slow. And it's 4,500 for the complete 4-month course to be paid on that first day when you come. So these are the details of how I consult. Don't call me, don't WhatsApp me, send an SMS, an ordinary phone message with your name. I'll call you.
Okay. For those who are not in Chennai, is there an online helpline which you can do the same program?
There is a system that we can do. I'm not too happy with it, but a lot of patients seem to be happy with it. I don't feel happy unless I can talk to you personally, but we can work out something.
Okay, that's nice.
Oh.
Yeah. Any other questions? We'll be sharing the recordings just the way it was circulated. The edited version of it will be circulated to all. And as Dr. Hansa promised, we will have a general health club. And is there any last words you want to say, Dr. Hansa, before we close in prayer?
Yeah, what about the presentation? Will it be available? The exact details of the slides as it was presented?
Yes, it will be along with the recording. So you will be watching the recording. You can pause and listen and look at the slides.
Will it come in
Okay,
a
thank
link? Will it come in a link?
Yes, yes, yes. We will first show you, Dr. Sunav, so that you could see the whole thing and any editing or anything you want to fix it, and then we will share it around.
A lot of people have asked for the phone number. Can you just add my phone number, please?
Sure.
At the link, you can
yeah.
just add.
Could you just do that? We've shared the link. We'll share it once again, and we'll add the phone number. Brother Daniel, could you just put the phone number on the chat box? I don't have, or Sister Dr. Hansa? I don't have Dr. Suna's phone number. So you, any of y'all could put it and repeat the link again for the latecomers who have joined late. They'll be happy to see the link and get in touch with. Okay, that was an excellent program. We'd like to have you back, Dr. Suna. Thank you for taking out so much time, and I love your South Indian. Is so comfortable talking the language. And all the dishes, your tattavada, murukku and all, I was so excited. That's the lifestyle which normally we lived. We used to have this morning snacking and tea and evening snacking and tea, which we are losing the culture. So it was not nice that you're taking back to the traditional way of living, which is a perfect way of doing it. Yes, there's some voice. Dhanashekaran wants to ask something. That will be the last question, and then we will have to wind up.
No, what I'm trying to say, ma'am knows better than us for our South Indian food and others. Actually, it is happy to hear from her. Actually, she knows all the dishes and in a nice way.
She's in Chennai, so she's very familiar. Yes, love. Thank you, Dr. Daisy, for putting up the number, and the website is also there. The recordings will be circulated. Thank you all for joining. See you all third Saturday of this month, same time, with another blessed person. Dr. Hansa, do we have the name? Would you like to just say so that the others will be prepared to listen, and you could close us in prayer? You need to unmute.
I have a whole list of CMC friends who are willing to talk. It will come in. I haven't still ready with the third.
Sure. Go ahead. Take your time and fix somebody who's really exciting as Dr. Sanan. Yes, you could close us.
All exciting.
Yes, Dr. Hansa, you could close us in prayer and we'll close it.
Okay. Father, we just want to thank and praise you for this amazing time. As Tusna shared, Lord, we have to keep our bodies healthy, beautiful, for your glory, because you, the Creator God, created our bodies with value and with purpose. And we destroy it with putting in muck into our bodies, unlike the animals. Oh Jesus, we thank you for this time. We pray that you'd be with us to be more cautious of what we eat and how we live, because we are here on this planet for a purpose in life. And we thank you for that. In Jesus' name, we say this prayer, oh God. Amen. Amen.
Hansa, just one last thing. You asked, what does my name mean? It means contentment.
Wow, that's great. You are keeping us contented.
Yes. And we want more.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you, Tusna, once again. It was such a blessed time. Thank you, Priya, for leading us into this time of health talks. It was all Priya's vision. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you all so much.
For the ladies who want to join the ladies group, on the flyer, Dr. Hansa's number is there. My number is also there. Please get in touch with us so that we don't miss out adding you. And for the rest of the team, I think all who are familiar, Dr. Hansa will be making the new club. Thank you all so much. See you next time. God bless you. Once again, Dr. Sana, it's been a blessing. I will meet you when I come down to Chennai sometime. Thank you. Bye-bye.